Hi everybody, it's me, Linda Duke. I'm back. Today I got my new camera. Requires lots of light. Got lots to show you and 10 minutes to do it in. We're going to be doing the Z-fold card today. This is one thing I told you I'd show you how to do. The reason why it's called a Z card is because when you set this up, it looks like a Z. So that's what we're going to do. So when you start off, the first thing you want to do is you want to take a piece of cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11, okay? And you want to make sure that you measure the high end. This is at 5.5, and the low end is at 3.25. And you want to cut that. And I'm often asked, how do I get that cut on an angle? Well, let me see if I can get this out here for you. You're going to see a little bit of glare back on mine because of the lighting, but I take this, place it in my cutter, and here's I made a notch here. I just hold that right on the cutting line, and then I just transfer this in. My tripod's in the way. I just hold that there, and I continue on until I actually line that up. So I have a notch here on the cut line and a notch here on the cut line, and I just take and I cut it down. Now, see this left over? It can also make a Z card, only with a smaller, if you have a smaller stamp, and you'll understand what I mean by that coming up. So after doing that, you want to take, and now that you've got it cut, you need to score it. And from here, the small side, you want to score it at 3.25 and 7 inches. So, and then score for straight cutting. And you want to do this twice. And for this card, we're doing it twice, and I'll explain that to you also. So after you do that, and you have it, you score it twice, you come in and you fold your cards, just like so. Now the trick on this card is where I see a lot of people when they make their mistake, is they want to fold this all the way to the edge, and then all the way to the edge here. You do not. You want to be able to see the bottom piece. You want to be able to see the the middle piece. So you do that twice for both cards. Okay. So after you do this twice, now you've already used your punch and you've cut along one side, and you're going to take, and this is very, very important, your tape. And what I do is, see this fold line? This is very important. You're going to run this right down. Make sure you go up and over that fold. And there's a reason for that. When you line this up, you're going to, of course it's at an angle, so it's going to look kind of jagged for right now. When you line this up, and you do this, and you mash that down, now when you fold this back over, you're going to fold that perfectly, just like so, and then you can come back here, and you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to go right down over the fold, okay, and when you open this up, going to just be like so, go over that fold, bring it back open, and then you're going to come back all the way to the end. And the reason for this is when you're working like this, you got to take into consideration those folds, and it'll look like this. Okay, now because when you open this card, typically this would be finished. When you open this card, if you didn't have this scallop on the top, would be no big deal. But because you see the right side, the wrong side, and the right side with this card, when this opens, this looks, to me, it doesn't look very nice. So what you will do now is you will take your, and do the same thing again on the opposite side, to where your card ends up on both sides. You have taped, I didn't tape this one, you have taped that down. Again, come along the top fold, do the same thing, just repeat it. The key here is go over that fold, okay, to where when you line this up, I always line it up with my fold, just like so. You know now that that will fold nicely. And you continue that, the same thing here, all the way down until your card's finished. Now, the key here is that this is very, it's not very tidy looking. So you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to trim this off. Okay? You're going to do the same thing on both sides. And you're going to make sure and go down here and trim this off to where, when you're done, what's going to happen is it's going to look like this. Okay? So now here we are. It's trimmed up and all nice. The ribbon, that's the key thing everybody wants to know. I have a long piece of ribbon, very long, and I fold it in half. And this will be the part that comes to the very top of your card. So in other words, I already have the other side on for you. You're going to come right here. This is the where you folded it. Okay? This is the fold. There's a piece on the back side. You're going to go right along the edge. Again, go up and over that fold. And you're going to lay your ribbon. Whoops. I got a long piece here and it's falling just like so. Go over that folded edge. Do the same thing all the way down over the fold. I'm trying not to get out of the screen here. Over the fold. And for time's sake, I'm going to go all the way to the end. Just like so. It's very forgiving. Fold your card. Go all the way to the end. Okay? So, now you have ribbon on the back and on the front. This is the fold. Just sets right down and goes right over both ends of that card. So when that card's closed, you see the right side, the wrong side, and the right side. So it looks very nice from all angles. And then from here, you tie your bow. Now, if you remember, this is what it looks like finished. Now, remember when I said earlier that when you cut the top part of the card off and that bit was a little bit smaller? That's okay. I made this higher on the front end, that 3 1/4, because this was a larger stamp. So if you have a smaller stamp, which I have several coming up, I would make this side smaller. So see, even though this is smaller, it still can make a great Z card. So that's my card I wanted to share with you today on how to do this fold. It's a wonderful, wonderful card to make. And this little stamp here is from Crafty Secrets. I will have a link where you can go back to the card I posted previously on my blog at Linda's Works of Heart, and you can see all of the supplies that I use. But before I go further, I'm often asked how I get these little different colors on my scallop, and why do I do that? Well, I do that for the simple reason of this. If you have this really pretty card sitting here, I think I take my Copic marker and I stick it in each hole. Yes, it's a little tedious. I'm only going to do one here or two to show you, and each one, this is what I do. And the longer you hold it there, the more ink is going to go on there. Because remember, Copic marker ink will absorb in your paper. I don't only stop there, I also come on the edge here. And I go right over each scallop. What that does is when the card's folded, it just helps make that design pattern of the punch step right off where you can actually see the detail versus all being the same color. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I will be doing many, many more. So again, I hope to hear from you, and hopefully this is something that you can use. And I look forward to seeing what you do produce, or what the cards that you make. So thank you very, very much.